Well, not only that, but it's a short week with Thanksgiving on Thursday. So, I mean, traditionally, if you're traveling, okay, if you're traveling any kind of distance at all, okay, and I'm not talking maybe going, to Belt or something. I mean, going home, wherever home would be, you're traveling, you're probably taking the whole week off, right? I mean, right? You're taking a whole week off, and by looking at this week's weather forecast, maybe you should be traveling a little bit earlier if you're traveling, because looks like weather-wise, dude, it looks like the bottom's going to fall out sometime around Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday night, okay. It's going to be cold, snow's going to be hitting out, it's going to be around through Thanksgiving holiday. Even though it's late November, I am not ready for that. No. I've been getting spoiled about, again, this last weekend, Andy, it was really nice, Before we get any further, remember to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified of any and all new content. And you'll have a chance to win fabulous prizes and participate in our weekly polls during our regularly scheduled weekly podcast. This is not a regularly scheduled. It is not. No. Why? It's a Thanksgiving thing, and it's a little shorter today. Why is it shorter? Because it's a short week. Makes sense to me. All right. Where's my prop this morning? This morning's show is brought to you in part by our good friends down at the Great Falls Gazette. Local news, local stories reported by, like local folks in the community, like you and me. Copies are available, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and this is yesterday's deluxe Sunday edition. Pick up a copy today. And a shout out to Holistic Relief by Design, with 2 locations now. The original number 6 on Black Eagle Road and 1301 10th Avenue North. Holistic Relief Design is your only stop for all your cannabis needs. All right. Good morning. Hey, Andy. Good morning. It is a Monday, November 24th. Cloudy, stormy, maybe it's, they call me Stormy Monday, and Tuesday's gonna be just as bad. Oh, yeah. All right, Andy, what's the temperature right now? Throw it up there. It is, from what I'm looking at, it's 41. All right. 41 degrees out, and this is going to be the warmest it's going to be for the next week or so. That's right, it's going to start dropping today, and it's going to stay down, down there. So, again, if you're traveling, we're not going to see the 40s again for a while, are we? A couple weeks, maybe? Yeah. All right, it's 40 today, so what? After the show, we're going to put on some shorts, take advantage of the 40-degree weather, flip-flops, it's Montana. All right. What a game on Saturday. The Brawl of the Wild lived up to its name. It lived up to all expectations. both the Montana State Bobcats, Montana Grizzlies. God, they left it all on the field. I couldn't believe what a good game that was. For a while there, I thought it was going to go either way. It was just, one team had momentum, then the other team had momentum. There was a big play here and a big play there. Everywhere a big play, it was just great, all right? Like I said, I thought it could go either way. Good teams or teams that win are more opportunistic. Is that the word I'm looking for? They got the plays when they needed it, Andy. I mean, when they got the pick six in the third quarter, okay, and the back-to-back touchdowns by the Grizzlies that were nullified by penalties. I think momentum-wise, that was, I think that was, the pick six, I know when the Grizzlies came in, they got to 28-31 with that good run in the fourth quarter. I thought, okay, but time ran out. That was kind of one of those games where, time wouldn't let them. Time won't let me. All right. FCS selections Sunday was yesterday. And really no surprises. Okay. Playoffs are set. Set to start next Saturday, Andy. Yeah, Saturday. They start. Go Grizz. Go Cats. All right. What are we doing this morning? We got this Great Falls Police Department thing that was released last week, midweek last Wednesday. Okay, and but what's going on is we've got a plethora. I wanted to use that word. What is a plethora? We have a lot of gun crimes in Great Falls. Juveniles are committing gun crimes. Juveniles are getting arrested with guns. And it's like, well, how the heck are juveniles getting guns? How the heck is that happening? Well, last Wednesday, they're stealing it. Yeah, let's tell you before we tell you what they did. They're stealing it. The kids are stealing stuff out of cars. Right. Okay, so last Wednesday, the Great Falls Police Department, along with Cascade County Attorney Josh Racky, am I saying that right? Josh Racky? Okay, they released a statement, basically a video statement on how important it is, Great Falls, how it is important for our residents to keep your guns and firearms locked away and firearms secured. And keep your cars locked. Take your guns out of the car, put them in the house. Lock the car. In the past, they said now, in the past few months, okay, and that's summertime, okay, we're forgetful in the summer, I know, okay, so there's been a dramatic increase this summer in firearm and gun thefts, and basically what they're coming from is vehicles, okay. Police are saying more often than not that the crimes are committed by juveniles here in Great Falls, Montana, are getting those firearms from kids are getting them from the vehicles. They just go around town, la-di-da, they're walking around town. They're crimes of opportunity. They're not like, mastermind criminals or anything. They're walking around checking car doors. Locked, move on. Locked, moved on. Unlocked, let's go see. They come rifling through. What's in here? Okay? I mean, why would you have a gun for protection and then leave it in your car unlocked? You know, under the seat or something. I mean, burglar breaks in the house. You're all like, wait right here. I got to go out and get me gun. It's in the car. So you wait right here, burglar. I mean, what are you leaving it in the car for in the first place, all right? Well, I need, guns in the car because, enemies, protect myself. Andy, what? You shouldn't be leaving your gun in the car, for starters, and you shouldn't be leaving your car unlocked, all right? And that's basically the whole rundown from the video that the police and the county attorney released. Yeah, from the video. I mean, the easiest way to take a bite out of crime, so to say. I mean, it's just so preventable. Take your gun, take it into the house, lock your car, end the story. What the heck? Yeah, I think I'll just go in the house, leave my gun laying on the front seat of my unlocked car. Police reports say that's happened. Okay, that has actually happened. That wasn't a comedy bit. That was like the truth. Okay? It's preventable. It's so preventable. It's like crime is preventable. A lot of it is. The high schools have come up in the news. The high schools have come up with merchants here in town. So I only know one area of high school area. That is the CMR area, the west side. Okay, but it's always been somewhat lunch and coming in the mornings and after school has always been, what's the word I want to say, unruly? Is that a good word? It's always been unruly, always been high traffic, always been, kids speeding, things like that. So, but now that everybody goes to the same lunch at the same time, all grades go, freshmen through seniors, all go at the same time. I know. We won't get into that. When I was in high school, we had, three different lunches. That was all at the same lunchtime, and it's downright crazy. Okay, stone cold crazy, da-da-da. But it is. I talked to our mayor, Corey Reeves, okay, on the phone. I talked some higher ups over the past in the police department, and we all thought that maybe this video would be, to mention it publicly, it would be a proper way to do it, just because the police just released that video about firearms last week. Me and Corey were talking. It's like, yeah, let's talk about the high school. Okay? First, let me clarify that this is not directed to all the students at CMR. It is not directed to all the students at CMR, okay? And as we all know, a couple bad apples, right? Yep, a couple bad apples can draw attention to everybody. Okay, so that being said, I'm speaking specifically about 15th, 16th, and 17th Avenue Northwest. Those are the three straight streets that take you from CMR to the Northwest Bypass. Okay, not the one that we're talking behind. We're talking those three residential streets. There are two exits from CMR, go straight down two of those streets. And if you live on these streets, you have probably complained over the year about how horrible the kids drive. Like I said, it's not all the students at CMR But I will say that most of the students driving down those 15th, 16th, and 17th straight streets are driving like a bat out of hell. Okay? Like I said, if you live on these streets, you've probably complained to the school in the past few years. I know several folks who have called, that have gone down to the school. Why? Okay. In the time that I have lived in that area, I have seen people's yards driven through, flower beds ran over, mailboxes and parked cars hit. Okay? I've seen kids flipping off my neighbors for motioning them to slow down. The kids drive by and flipping them off. Okay? I've seen them purposely, and I know they got this call about this one, swerving to run over and kill the neighborhood squirrels and rabbits. Yep, doing it on purpose. And if the streets aren't bad enough, the alleys are even worse. They're not speeding down the alleys, spreading up gravel and dirt everywhere. Then they're throwing trash over the fences. And better yet, they're banging off the fences and rattling the fences, throwing shit off at the neighborhood dogs. Again, this isn't everybody. But it's more than just a handful. Where did students learn to be disrespectful like this? I mean, everybody's always giving me a credit. Yeah, when you were a kid, when you were in high school, you were dropping acid and going to kegers and drinking, and yeah, that's true. That's what I was doing when I was in high school. And you know what? We had respect and manners, too. I would never have thought for a minute of flipping a neighbor off while I'm speeding down the side street around the school. My mom would have kicked my ever-loving, she'd have just kicked my butt. I wouldn't have got the car back until I was married. I mean, seriously. Evidently, there aren't consequences at home anymore. Okay? I mean, how would you like it if people in my neighborhood went up, found out where you all live, and just ran over the neighborhood rabbits that Grandma's been feeding all spring? Okay? That's what's been going on. That's how it is by CMR. It's a bat out of hell. Okay? I'm going to give you, for instance, just last Wednesday, I was out front of a house on one of those straight streets. I could hear them 2 blocks away. Okay? I could hear them. It's 9:30 in the morning, so they're late. Okay? 9:30, they're late. I heard them come around the corner. They were going down one of these straight streets at CMR 45 miles an hour. They were just a blink of an eye, they were gone. In the lead was a grayish silver two-door coupe. It looked like it had an aftermarket spoiler on it. Okay. And behind it, trying to drift it, was a white-looking little minivan with severe rear panel damage on the driver's side. Okay? I just described 2 cars pretty good. Okay? Pretty darn good. Little gray thing was loud. Okay? Called the CMR, yield absolutely nothing. The person on the phone had no idea whose car they were or who just came in late. When I was in high school, and they knew exactly, would know exactly who those cars would have belonged to. And the school administrators would have known if I was there or late or not. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah. People have complained, and they sure have. People have complained. They've called down there. I've talked to neighbors. I talked to people before we even started this. The mayor, Corey Reeves, and the manager at Albertsons, several neighbors. This is not only stuff that I've witnessed, too. And it's every year. It's not just this year, you guys. It's every year, okay? Okay? And I don't know when it started, but I'm going to tell you, we didn't do this stuff when I was in high school. It's like, oh yeah, you didn't. No, we didn't. Okay? We weren't drag racing up and down streets trying to pass each other. Okay? Not in front of Sentinel High School. No way. We had to play. We went up the Miller Creek. It was not built up over there before. Okay? So, no matter who you talk to, the SRO, they've had 2 or 3 different ones. Principal, okay, well, what can they do? It doesn't really fall on deaf ears, but what can they do? They can bring the hammer down a little bit if they wanted to. Them kids last week, the guy in the red, the guy in the the guy in the the silverish gray coupe with the spoiler loud thing, he's like doing the thing and shit, boom boom, and then the guy behind him is like it's the white minivan looking thing, the whole back panel on the driver's side is just all smashed in and shit. He's trying to drift on this guy like he's Vin Diesel or something on the Fast and Furious. It was almost funny if they weren't going 45 miles an hour. Yeah, it wasn't funny then, okay? Yeah, like I said, I tell people around the neighborhood, call the mayor, call the police department. Don't even call the school no more. Okay? They have a cop car now. They have the signs, and we've been told that the signs help. Okay? The signs help a little bit, but if they're driving, they don't pay attention to the the little solar things. Speed limit 20, 15 or 25, and your speed limit. The speed limit shouldn't be 25 in a residential setting. It should be 15. Yeah. Yeah, so I just suggest people, and again, it's just a shame how a few kids, with no respect whatsoever for their surroundings or the other people's property, just ruin it for everybody else. What? Albertsons at lunch? Oh my God. It's a clusterfuck. Pardon my French. You got 10 kids around each set self-check, registers, kids walking out all the doors. The staff and manager that I interviewed down at Albertsons, they said, yeah, we've called the high school, we've talked to them. Yeah, it's like, yeah. They need to go back to breaking that lunch up. It's a mess. People are calling the mayor. Kids are driving 1,000 miles an hour thinking it's the Fast and Furious. Yeah. I can't tell names on the air, was told. That even though it's a podcast, I shouldn't be like putting a name. And I don't know names. I just do a good description of 2 cars. So parents, if they match those cars, or anybody that knows that matches those cars, I saw you. The van was funny. It wasn't funny, but it was. It's like, here's this kid doing 45, drifting off the bumper of this, like street racer. He's got bands all beat up and stuff. Yeah. Somebody knows who those cars belong to. Didn't mean to get you in trouble, you guys, but if you weren't driving like such idiots. Can I say idiots on the air? I can say idiots. All right. Okie dokie. So, there you go. A little local flavor. Well, look, we got guns and cars, kids committing crime. We got kids driving crazy, kids, bull rushing store. We got kids, driving in yards, man. It's juvenile delinquents have gone wild. That should be a show we should do. The juvenile delinquents gone wild. Wasn't there a... Yeah, there was. It was Girls Gone Wild. We should do a show like that. No, we shouldn't. They got sued. Like I said, it's a short week. Heck, I noticed that the parking lot's a little emptier this Monday morning than it usually is. So if you're traveling for the holidays, forecast is snow forecast, Andy. I told you, throw it up there. Bottom falls out. Look at that. 30s, 10s, 9. Do I see a 9 in here? Oh, jeez. I am not ready for 9. Hey, you traveling, Andy? Nope. Me neither. I don't have any idea what I'm doing. Parades that are on TV, they're not like being at them. I remember in Detroit going up to the Hudson's parade downtown. Had the big flag on the building and everything. Yeah, the Lions play. Detroit Lions are going to be on the Lions game. So, other from that, I don't know, Yeah. Pipewrench is available to come over and steal a piece of pumpkin pie and the whole thing of Cool Whip. That's the only way you can eat pumpkin pie. Yeah, you don't put a little dollop on it. You get a big piece of pumpkin pie, you take the whole tub of Cool Whip, just plop the whole thing on it, cover it up, cover the whole pumpkin pie piece up. Have the sides of the cover and the back. La-di-da, we got it all done up. Yeah, it looks great. Looks wonderful. And there you go. That's how you eat pumpkin pie. That's how you do it. All right. Be safe out there, everybody. Come on, it's Thanksgiving. All right? All right. Andy, what are we doing on time? I thought you said we were going to be short. All right. All right. All right, everybody. Remember to spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Foster, rescue, volunteer. During the holidays, you can even donate. Okay? Most importantly, adopt a shelter pet today. It's getting colder as we speak, Andy. Have a great Thanksgiving. We will see you next week. We are out of here.